All right, so we're diving into some serious NBA intrigue today.
Okay.
You've provided a ton of search terms all about Luka Dončić
Right.
and the Dallas Mavericks. And honestly, just the sheer volume of trade-related searches, it's kind of telling.
Yeah.
The internet seems pretty convinced that Dončić might be on the move.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting here is that these searches go beyond just casual fan curiosity. Like, people aren't just kind of like, oh, what's Luka up to? There's a real sense of anticipation.
Right.
Maybe even some anxiety about what the future holds for Dončić and the Mavs.
Yeah, it's like when you searched Luka trade, Dončić trade, Mavs trade. It's like everyone's asking, is this really going to happen?
Yeah.
But then it gets even more specific, and that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
There's a lot of focus on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Mhm.
What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, the searches for Luka Lakers. Luka traded to Lakers. Luka Dončić to Lakers. They all paint a pretty clear picture.
Yeah.
Like, it seems that the Lakers are the front runner.
Yeah.
In a lot of fans' minds. And, honestly, it makes sense when you think about the Lakers' history of attracting superstars and then their current need
Right.
for a player who can lead them back to championship contention.
Okay. But you also searched for a bunch of stuff about Anthony Davis, like Anthony Davis age, Anthony Davis trade, even add Luka trade.
Yeah.
Why do you think fans are so fixated on him as a potential trade piece?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to a few things.
Okay.
First, age. LeBron, while still incredible, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
Davis, on the other hand, is younger
Right.
and could potentially be a long-term partner.
Mm-hmm.
For Dončić, Davis is a dominant big man.
Yeah.
He can score, rebound, defend at an elite level.
Yeah.
He'd complement Dončić's playmaking abilities perfectly.
Right.
And then third, contractually, Davis's current deal might be more appealing to the Mavericks
Okay.
than LeBron's.
So you're saying it's not just about star power, but about finding the right pieces? Exactly.
Fit together both on the court and within the salary cap.
Yeah, and that's where things get really interesting, because when you start digging into Dončić's contract, which you clearly have based on your searches, you realize it's a complex situation.
Okay.
His contract has a player option in 2026.
Right.
Which means he could become a free agent relatively soon.
So that adds another layer of intrigue to this whole thing.
It does.
A team trading for Dončić would know that they might only have him for a few years before he has the option to go elsewhere.
Exactly. And that could really impact the kind of package that the Mavericks could realistically expect in return.
I see you also looked up Lakers roster, Lakers trade news, and Lakers trade rumors.
Yeah.
It seems like you're really trying to figure out what the Lakers might have to offer and how a potential trade would affect their current roster. What are some of the challenges they might face? Well, the Lakers are already committed to a significant amount of salary with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So they would need to find a way to match Dončić's salary in a trade.
Right.
Which could involve sending out multiple players and possibly even draft picks.
So it sounds like a pretty complicated puzzle.
It is.
But let's not forget, the Lakers aren't the only team in the mix here.
Right.
You also searched for the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns.
Uh-huh.
What makes them potential contenders in this whole Dončić sweepstakes?
So the Jazz are in an interesting position. They've recently gone through a rebuild.
Okay.
And they've accumulated some valuable assets, including young players and draft picks.
Yeah.
They might see Dončić as the missing piece.
Right.
That could elevate them to championship contention.
Okay.
The Suns, on the other hand, they already have a strong core with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Adding Dončić would be a massive gamble.
Yeah.
But it could potentially create a super team capable of dominating the league.
So we've got the Lakers as the apparent frontrunner, the Jazz with their intriguing assets, and the Suns as a potential wild card.
Right.
But let's not forget about the Dallas Mavericks themselves.
Right.
You searched for Mark Cuban, Mavericks trade, Mavs game. What do you think is going through their minds?
Well, the Mavericks are in a tough spot.
Yeah.
They have a generational talent in Dončić.
Right.
But they haven't been able to build a championship caliber team around him.
Yeah.
So the front office, led by Mark Cuban and the general manager, has some tough decisions to make. Do they try to make one more big push to surround Dončić with the right pieces, or do they consider trading him while his value is sky high and potentially rebuilding for the future?
Yeah, and your search for Luka Dončić contract and Luka contract suggests you're trying to figure out how his contract situation might influence their decision-making.
His player option in 2026 is a major factor. If the Mavericks believe they can't convince him to stay long-term, they might be more inclined to trade him sooner rather than later.
This is getting really interesting. We've got Dončic's potential desire for a change of scenery, the Lakers as the perceived frontrunner, the Jazz and Suns as potential dark horses, and the Mavericks facing a franchise-defining decision.
And let's not forget the human element. Behind all these searches are real people with their own hopes and dreams and ambitions. You know, Dončić himself, the players potentially involved in a trade, the fans of all the teams involved, their lives could be significantly impacted by whatever happens next.
You're right. It's easy to get caught up in the trade rumors and the speculation. But at the end of the day, this is about real people and their careers. It's a reminder that the NBA is more than just a game. It's a complex ecosystem of players, teams, and fans, all interconnected in ways we might not even fully comprehend.
And that's what makes it so fascinating to follow.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it's fascinating how you also included searches for, like, Luka Dončić age and Anthony Davis age. It seems like you're really considering the long-term implications of this potential trade.
Age is a crucial factor in any trade. Especially one involving a player of Dončić's caliber. You're thinking about the future, not just the immediate impact.
Exactly. Like, you're not just looking for a quick fix. You're thinking about how these players' ages align with the Mavericks and the Lakers' timelines for contention. It's strategic.
It speaks to the complexity of this whole potential trade. It's not just about swapping talent. It's about finding the right pieces that fit together, both in terms of skill set and age.
Absolutely. And speaking of fit, let's circle back to those searches for Maxi Kleber and Dirk Nowitzki. What do you think those searches reveal about your understanding of the Mavericks situation?
Well, it tells me that you're not just focused on the superstar drama. You're thinking about the entire roster, the supporting cast, and how a Dončić trade would impact the Mavericks beyond just losing their star player.
Like what happens to guys like Kleber if Dončić leaves? Do they become trade pieces themselves? And the Nowitzki search, I think that speaks to a sense of legacy, maybe even a bit of nostalgia.
I agree. The Nowitzki search suggests you're thinking about the Mavericks' history, their identity, and how a Dončić trade would represent a major turning point for the franchise.
Okay, but let's shift gears a bit and talk about the media circus surrounding all of this. You've got searches for NBA news, NBA trade rumors, ESPN NBA, Bleacher Report, and even Shams Charania, the ultimate NBA insider.
With a story this big, it's no surprise that you're keeping up with all the latest news and rumors. The NBA is a 24/47 news cycle.
It is.
And a potential Dončić trade is like a hurricane hitting the league.
And it's not just the traditional media outlets anymore. You've also got podcasts, YouTube channels, social media personalities. Everyone's got an opinion, and everyone's trying to break the story first.
It's a fascinating evolution.
It is.
In sports media, the fans are no longer passive consumers of information. They're active participants, shaping the narrative and driving the conversation.
But with so much noise out there, it can be hard to separate fact from fiction.
It can.
How do you navigate this information overload and find the insights that really matter?
It's a skill, for sure. You have to develop a sense of which sources are reliable, which analysts have a track record of accuracy, and which rumors have legs.
And sometimes it's just about trusting your gut, right? Like you read something and you can just tell whether it rings true or not.
Absolutely. There's a certain intuition that comes with being a dedicated fan. You start to recognize patterns. You understand the motivations of teams and players. And you can often sense when something is about to happen.
Okay, so let's talk about the Mavericks perspective for a minute.
Okay.
You searched for Mark Cuban Mavericks, Mavericks trade, Mavs trade, and Mavs-ism. What do you think is going through their minds as they navigate this potential trade?
Well, they're in a tough spot. On one hand, they have a generational talent in Dončić, a player who can single-handedly change the fortunes of a franchise. On the other hand, they haven't been able to build a championship-caliber team around him. And his potential departure would set them back significantly.
Like they're facing a classic dilemma.
Yeah.
Do they double down on Dončić and try to build a contender around him?
Right.
Or do they cut their losses and start a rebuild?
And the searches for Luka Dončić contract and Luka contract suggest you're thinking about the financial implications of this decision. Dončić's contract is massive, and it would significantly limit their flexibility in free agency.
So it's not just about finding the right players, it's about finding players who fit within the salary cap.
Exactly.
Which is a whole other level of complexity.
Exactly. And that's where the expertise of the front office comes in. They have to be creative and strategic in managing the salary cap.
Right. Yeah.
Especially if they want to build a contender around Dončić.
Okay, so we've got the Mavericks facing a tough decision.
Yeah.
The Lakers lurking as a potential destination, and the NBA world waiting with bated breath to see what happens next.
And let's not forget the human element in all of this.
Yeah.
Behind these searches are real people.
Right.
With real emotions, ambitions, and legacies at stake. Dončić himself, the players who might be involved in a trade, the fans of all the teams involved, their lives could be significantly impacted by whatever happens next.
You're right. It's easy to get caught up in the stats, the salaries, the trade scenarios.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is about people, their passions, and their dreams.
And that's what makes the NBA so compelling.
It is.
It's not just a game. It's a story, a drama, a soap opera that unfolds on and off the court.
And we're all invested in that story, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah.
Our searches, our conversations, our hopes, and our fears, they all contribute to the collective narrative that's being written right now.
And that's the beauty of it.
It is.
We're all part of this grand experiment, this ongoing saga.
Yeah.
That's bigger than any one player, any one team, or any one season.
So as we continue to follow this Dončić trade saga, let's remember that we're not just observers. We're active participants. And our collective curiosity is shaping the future of the NBA in ways we might not even fully comprehend.
And that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, waiting to see what happens next.
It's interesting. You also looked up NBA trade deadline and NBA trade rules. It's like you're not just caught up in the speculation, but you're really thinking about, okay, when could this actually happen?
Right. A Dončić trade would be huge.
Yeah.
It'd have ripple effects across the league.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to think about the when and the how of it all. You know, a trade deadline, that's always a crazy time.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, you've got teams making their final push for the playoffs.
Right.
Some are deciding to go all in. Some are deciding to blow it up. It's when a lot of the big moves happen.
So are you saying a Dončić trade would be more likely to happen closer to the deadline?
It's possible. You know, teams are feeling that pressure.
Right.
They might be more willing to make a big move.
Okay, so then you also searched salary cap. And it seems like you're thinking about the financial side of things, too.
Yeah, you can't just ignore the money.
Right.
It's a huge part of any trade, especially when you're talking about a superstar like Dončić.
So you're saying it's not just about finding the right players on the court. It's about making the numbers work, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Salary cap, it adds a whole other layer of complexity.
Yeah.
Like a puzzle.
Right.
You got to fit the pieces together.
So after all this analysis, all these searches, all these deep dives into a potential Dončić trade, what's your gut feeling? Do you think it's actually going to happen?
I mean, it's tough to say for sure.
Yeah.
The NBA is always full of surprises.
Right.
But based on everything we've talked about, the searches you've done, the way you're thinking about this, I think it's a real possibility.
It's definitely a situation where you can't just look away.
Yeah. You got to stay tuned.
You got to keep checking for updates.
Exactly. It's part of the fun.
Yeah. And it's not just about Dončić himself.
Right.
It's about how a trade would impact the whole league.
It would shake things up for sure.
Like who would rise to the top.
Exactly. Who would fall behind.
What new rivalries would emerge.
Oh, so many questions.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
If a Dončić trade does happen, what does it mean for the future of the NBA? How will it change the way we think about player movement team building the pursuit of championship?
The big question.
Because one thing's for sure, the NBA landscape would never be the same.
That's the truth.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us, and keep those searches coming, because the NBA is always full of surprises.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.